ผสมตรงหน้าระวังปัญญาอุด
by His Majesty the King on this grand event. Supreme Commander and senior officers are now returning to their visit room. The bugler will signal the formation to prepare for the royal parade with 2 bugle calls. For the personnel. Formation. 120mm mortars, 4 1.25-ton Unimogs with 120mm mortars, and 4 troop-carrying Unimogs.
Now you can see that full L-39s flying over the parade ground.
The 1st Battalion is just finishing their passing review in front of the Royal Pavilion. Next is the 2nd Battalion of the 1st Regiment. The 2nd Battalion is drawn from the 3rd Infantry Battalion, 12th Infantry Regiment King's Guard, with Lieutenant Colonel Niranbi Bidgun as the battalion commander. The battalion has 24 vehicles, 4 in the command group, followed by 12 M113A2 tracked armored personnel carriers armed with a 50 caliber machine gun and an M60 machine gun. Coming into view. There you can see the outlines of the tow on the last row of the APCs. The 3rd Battalion coming in front of the pavilion is drawn from the 2nd Infantry Battalion, 19th Infantry Regiment, commanded by Lieutenant Colonel Pichet Asadanuwat. Unit weapons consist of 4 quarter-ton 4-wheel drive vehicles with mounted M60 machine guns, showing the 120mm mortars. This is a cut back to the 2nd Battalion with the APCs. And finally, 4 1.25-ton Unimogs with mounted 81mm mortars. You're watching the live telecast of the Royal Thai Armed Forces parade in commemoration of the 50th anniversary of His Majesty the King of Thailand's accession to the throne. Here you see the 2nd Regiment. The 2nd Parade Regiment Command Group is drawn from the 1st Cavalry Regiment King's Guard with Colonel Passing is the command group on the 6th M48A5 tanks. And following the command group, regimental command group, is the battalion. You can see the unit colors in your screen on the Humvees. The 1st Battalion is drawn from the 27th Cavalry Squadron with Colonel Acha Naisisuk as the squadron commander. The squadron is a reconnaissance cavalry battalion organic to the 2nd Cavalry Division. Combat vehicles are 4 1/4-ton utility vehicles with mounted M60 machine guns and 12 Type 21 Scorpion light tanks. four Type 85 tracked armored personnel carriers with 12.7 millimeter anti-aircraft artillery guns, and four 85 tracked armored personnel carriers with 120 millimeter mortars. What you see coming in to view now are the Scorpion light tanks. The Scorpion is a light tank weighing approximately 8 tons. It is armed with a 76 millimeter gun. These are the M48A5s. You'll notice that the commander standing on the top has a 7.62 millimeter M60 machine gun. And you can tell the difference between the M48A5 and the M60 tank from the commander's position. The M48 has the mounted gun, but the M60 will have a commander's cupola. Immediately after this M48A5 battalion will come the 3rd battalion, which has M60s. Force and the Navy jets are continuing to fly overhead in flights of 4s with F-16s, F-5s, and Navy A-7s.
Now you can see the flight of 4A7 maritime strike fighter from the Thai Navy.
The last of the M48A5s have passed by the Royal Pavilion, and coming into view is the 3rd Battalion drawn from the 20th Cavalry Division King's Guard with Lieutenant Colonel Uprit Suwanbupha as the commander. The battalion's combat vehicles are 27 M60A1 main battle tanks. The unit's colors have just passed by His Majesty the King. The hull and the turret are of cast steel. The main armament is a 105mm M68 rifle tank gun capable of firing 6 to 8 rounds per minute with a 4,400 meter maximum range. A 7.62 M240 machine gun is mounted coaxial to the gun, and there is a 50 caliber M85 machine gun in the commander's cupola. That is a miniature turret that you see on top of the main turret. The tank is capable of speeds up to 48 kilometers per hour, and due to its 750 horsepower engine, it can move up to 48 kilometers per hour. It has an operating radius of 500 kilometers.
In the sky, over the parade ground, there are 2 flights of 4 F-16A and B, 2 flights of 4 F-5EFs, 1 flight of 4 L-39 from the Thai Air Force, and 1 flight of 4 A-7 maritime strike fighter from the Thai Navy, flying at 540 kilometers an hour at 210 meter height, using 20-second separation.
You see passing are the part of the 27 M60A1s that are in the 3rd Battalion. You can see that the turrets of the M60A1 and of the M48A5s are quite different and distinctive. Not only is it moving in into the Royal Pavilion area is the 3rd Regiment. Coming up on the 6 vehicles you see in the front of the picture are the 3rd Regiment Command Group, which is formed from the 1st Anti-Aircraft Artillery Regiment with Colonel Nantawat Rujirawat as the commander. Has a maximum range of 4,500 meters and an effective range of 1,200 or 2,000 meters for aerial targets and ground targets respectively. It has a maximum fire rate of 3,000 rounds per minute. These are the Falcons. 12 mounted on M113 armored personnel carrier platforms and 8 being towed.
For Navy pilot flying over the sky are Commander Warapol Thong Pricha, Lieutenant Commander Chetha Lienratwong, Lieutenant Commander Reungyut Potharamik, and Lieutenant Commander Kirisak Wong Prakop. Speaking of the capabilities of A-7 attack aircraft, it has the operation radius over 500 nautical miles. Its endurance is over 4 hours. It can be loaded with a weight of armament about 6,000 kilograms. It can fly at the maximum speed at the mean sea level at 600 miles per hour. And because of the maritime environment, the requirement of the maritime aircraft is very high.
The 2nd Battalion is composed of 24 vehicles from the 4th Anti-Aircraft Artillery Battalion commanded by Lieutenant Colonel Prisha Sapiran. Behind the commander is unit colors, which has a Ratanaphorn Commendation for bravery graciously granted by His Majesty the King in 1981. The important combat and combat support vehicles are 4 lads on 5-ton trucks, 8 towed 57mm anti-aircraft artillery guns, and 8 M42 systems composed of twin 40mm anti-aircraft artillery guns mounted on an M41 tank platform. What you see in the screen are the LADs. The LADs are low-altitude air defense radar systems, effective in a 60-kilometer radius, capable of detecting target, distance, and direction. It is also capable of multiple target acquisition, simultaneously 64 targets. Here is the 57mm anti-aircraft artillery guns that have a 6-kilometer effective range and an 8.8-kilometer maximum range.
The F-16A and B is the most advanced fighter in the Air Force. The F-16AB is a single turbofan engine jet fighter aircraft. The maximum speed is 2.05 times the speed of sound, or 2,400 kilometers per hour, equipped with a 20mm gun, 30mm gun, air-to-air guided missile, air-to-surface guided missiles, and guided bombs. The modern technology design features are in the navigation system, weapon system, and flight control system.
The 3rd Battalion. The 3rd Battalion is formed from the 7th Anti-Aircraft Artillery Battalion commanded by Lieutenant Colonel Awut Sangtawan. Following the unit colors are 8 Humvees with personnel carrying HN-5A missile launchers and 8 5-ton trucks towing 4 flycatcher radar fire control systems and towing 4 40mm L-70 anti-aircraft artillery guns. And finally, 4 towed Sparta guided missile surface-to-air missile systems. What you're seeing is the HN-5A missile launchers, which are infrared guided anti-aircraft missiles. Those are the HN-5As.
the L-70s, which can fire at 300 rounds per minute with an effective range of 4,000 meters. And right at the end of the battalion formation, you'll see the Spartans. The Spartans can fire 6 SPD guided missiles at a range of 15 kilometers and target height of 6,000 meters. And there's 6 of those to a unit, and that's coming into the left side of your screen. That's the 5-ton truck towing the Sparta system. Each has 6 SPD guided missiles.
The F-16AB has been in the service since 1988, being used in the air superiority mission, defense mission, and airstrike mission.
Next is the 4th Regiment. The 4th Regiment Command Group is formed from the 71st Artillery Regiment with Colonel Picha Watanatari as the commander. Following the Regimental Command Group is the 1st Battalion. The 1st Battalion is formed from the 721st Artillery Battalion, commanded by Lieutenant Colonel Buntam Orit. The main combat assets are 8 M109A5 self-propelled howitzers and 8 M992 tracked ammunition trucks. Here you're seeing the pictures of the Royal Plaza, where those that have already passed the Royal Pavilion are forming up. These are M109A5 self-propelled howitzers. You notice that the personnel in the vehicles, they are at squares, which means that they have their arms extended horizontally out in the front, with their folded at the elbows, with their right forearm on top of their left forearm. Once they approach the Royal Pavilion, they'll drop their arms and hands to the position of attention and then salute His Majesty as they pass on the orders of eyes right. Right passing the Royal Pavilion is the last of the tracked ammunition trucks. The 2nd Battalion is formed from the 711th Artillery Battalion, commanded by Lieutenant Colonel Nopadon D. The main combat assets are 8 towed M198 155mm howitzers and 4 wheeled ammunition trucks. The M198 howitzers have a 30-kilometer range, firing at 4 rounds per minute. The ammunition truck can hold 350 M107 rounds and has a built-in loading-unloading system. You'll see that the troops are in their fatigues with a yellow scarf. And the yellow signifies that they are of the artillery, and is the color of the full regalia in the parade to honor His Majesty the King on his birthday of the Parade of the Royal Guards.
The Thai Air Force F-5EF is a 2 turbojet engine jet fighter aircraft. The maximum speed is 1.54 times the speed of sound, or 1,830 km per hour. Equipped with 20mm guns, guided air-to-air missiles, guided air-to-surface missiles, and guided bombs. The weapon system has been upgraded to the modern technology weapon system. The F-5EF has been in the service since 1978, being used in air defense mission and airstrike mission.
The 3rd Battalion is now passing the front of the Royal Pavilion. The 3rd Battalion is formed from the 723rd Artillery Battalion, commanded by Lieutenant Colonel Chinatip Unnap. The battalion's main offensive capabilities derive from 8 155mm GHN 45A1 artillery guns, towed by 10-ton trucks, and 4 10-ton ammunition trucks. Medium-grade bridge-level boats and bridges of a 60-ton capacity. That's the mine-clearing rocket system. MGB bridges and boats. Two mobile Army bridge vehicles with a 50-ton capacity and two mobile artesian well drillers. Those are followed by 4 cranes and 2 radio-controlled bulldozers for mine clearing. The rest of the vehicles include 2 payloaders, 2 rescue vehicles for emergency relief, 2 graders, 2 scrapers, 2 pavers, 2 excavators, and 2 bulldozers towing rippers. These military assets in the possession of the Army engineers have been extensively used to assist in the development of the rural areas, especially in projects in keeping with His Majesty's wishes and His Majesty's royal and royally initiated projects.
You're watching live telecast of the Royal Thai Armed Forces Parade in commemoration of the 50th anniversary of His Majesty the King of Thailand's accession to the throne, which is taking place along Ratchadamnern Klang Avenue, Main Road in the center of Bangkok, Thailand.
The 2nd Battalion of the 5th Regiment is composed of 26 vehicles formed from the 101st Signal Battalion of Satellite Communications. Other vehicles include 11 Humvees, 4 Unimogs, and 2 each of the 2.5 and 5-ton trucks. The 3A2 type and various maintenance repair facilities on 1.25-ton Unimog trucks.
The Thai Air Force L-39 is a single turbojet engine aircraft. The maximum speed is 785 kilometers per hour. Equipped with a 23mm gun, modern air-to-air and air-to-surface missiles. The L-39 has been in service since 1995, being used in training new fighter pilots prior to fly the high-performance fighter aircraft such as F-5EF and F-16, and also used as a light.
You see high-bed semi-trailers and low-bed semi-trailers. In this case, you'll see the low-bed semi-trailers carrying M60 tanks. The high-bed trailers passing, and then the low-bed. Next is the 2nd Battalion. The 2nd Battalion is composed of 16 vehicles from the Quartermaster Department, commanded by Major Chanin Popoon Suk, the battalion commander. Some important vehicles are troop carriers, 12,000-liter tankers, refrigerated semi-trailer tractor trucks capable of minus 100 degrees Celsius temperature, and self-powered mobile leather and canvas factories towed by 2.5-ton trucks. See, the vehicles are passing by the Royal Pavilion and presenting a salute. After they have passed by the Royal Pavilion, they will go back to squares. Battalion of the 6th Regiment is composed of vehicles from the medical department. The 16 vehicles are commanded by Lieutenant Colonel Rien Thong Nen Na, the battalion commander. He is currently an operations officer with the medical department. Important combat support vehicles are 4 Humvees equipped as ambulances, 4 M113 tracked armored personnel carriers outfitted as ambulances, 1 mobile field surgery truck, and 1 medical logistics truck.
Now here come the 7th Regiment. Combat vehicles and access include amphibious assault vehicles, heavy weapons mounted on Humvees, towed howitzer, air defense artillery, and radar-controlled air defense system. There are altogether 54 combat and combat support vehicles divided into 3 battalions. The regiment headquarters consists of 6 vehicles from the Artillery Regiment, Marine Division, Royal Thai Marine Corps. Captain Tassanai Kulasi Sambat is the commander. The 1st Battalion from the Assault Amphibious Vehicle or AAV Battalion under the command of Commander Cholit Jatrik. You would see in the first row is Humvee, number of crew 3 and 25 troops with combat equipment. Widest trench crossing 8 feet and highest wall climb 3 feet. The AAV-7 has fastest forward speed 45 minutes per hour on land and 8.2 meter per hour in water. And the 2nd Battalion, comprised of 16 vehicles and personnel from the 1st Artillery Battalion, Artillery Regiment, Royal Thai Marine Corps. Commander Supasek Surik Sanchai is the commander of the 2nd Battalion. In the first row are 4 150mm light guns and 2.5-ton towing vehicles. This gun can be brought into or taken out of action within just 30 to 60 seconds. Can be towed by a wide range of light vehicles. Maximum rate of fire is 12 rounds per minute. Maximum range is 16. In the second row are CG-45 155mm guns howitzer. Maximum range 40 kilometers. Further than of the Army, and maximum rate of fire 4 rounds per minute. Operated by the crew of 8. Normally, is towed by a standard 10-ton truck with speed of 90 kilometers per hour. And in the third row, there are 4 GHN-45 155mm guns howitzer. This gun is fitted with the APU on front of the carriage with the driver on the right. The APU or an auxiliary power unit enables the weapon to propel itself on roads at maximum speed of 30 kilometers per hour or 22 miles per hour. And the 3rd Battalion, there are 16 vehicles from the Coastal and Air Defense Command. Commander Wanlok Thaptim is the commander. The first row are 4 GHN-45 155mm guns howitzer, which is the same type of gun used in the 2nd Battalion, but there is no APU here. And in the second row, there are 4 130mm field gun type 59-1. This gun is it can also provide continuous support for tank and infantry operations. Maximum range at 27 kilometers and maximum rate of fire 8 rounds per minute. Coming along in the third row on the right-hand side, you would see the twin-close anti-aircraft 37mm with fire control type 702. It can fire at the target in 3 dimensions, as in the air, on land, and at sea. The maximum rate of fire is 30 rounds per minute, and the maximum range 16.6 kilometers. And in the third row on the left-hand side, the cross anti-aircraft 40mm. They are very formidable piece of arms to perform point and area defense mission. It can be interfaced with a fire catcher and has searching and tracking antenna controlled by computer. It can search the target within 20 kilometers and can also keep track of the target within 15 kilometers. That's all for the Royal Thai Navy.
Coming up is the 8th Parade Regiment. The 8th Parade Regiment is arranged from the Royal Thai Air Force Security Force Command. The regiment is composed of 2 armored combat vehicle battalions and 1 anti-aircraft artillery battalion. The total of 16 Condor armored combat vehicles, 8 Commodore V-150 armored combat vehicles, 4 units each of 37 millimeters, 40 millimeters. The Commander armored combat vehicle has been in service since 1993, equipped with a 20 millimeter artillery and 7.26 machine gun, and 866 millimeters grenade launcher. Maximum speed on the road is 100 kilometers an hour. The Commodore V-150 armored combat vehicle has been in service since 1979, equipped with an 0.5-inch artillery, a 7.62 maximum speed on the road is 99 kilometers an hour. The 37 millimeter artillery has the maximum range of 8,500 meters, effective range of 3,500 to 4,000 meters, and 440 to 480 rounds. The 40 millimeters artillery has the maximum range of 12,500 meters, effective range of 4,000 to 5,000 meters, and 240 to 260 rounds a minute maximum rate of fire, and has been in the service since 1987. The 30 millimeters artillery has the maximum range of 7,500 meters, the effective range of 3,000 meters, and 16 rounds a minute, the maximum rate of fire, and has been in the service since 1988.
As units march past Panfalila Bridge, all vehicles are parked along Ratchadamnern Nok Avenue, and personnel disembark in preparation for Their Majesty's departure. The band, officers of the Royal Thai Armed Forces Headquarters and the Cadets Regiment will then take up their position in front of the Royal Pavilion. In the picture you can see His Majesty the King, Her Majesty the Queen and Her Royal Highness Princess Mahachakri Sarinthorn. This is the live telecast of the Royal Thai Armed Forces Parade in commemoration of the 50th anniversary of His Majesty the King of Thailand's accession to the throne, which is taking place along Ratchadamnern Klang Avenue, Bangkok, Thailand. This is the main road in the center.